Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? How is your higher self doing this morning? Excellent. So, Kelly, can you give me a 10-minute heads up toward the end? Okay. So, for those of you who don't know me, yeah.
We are a little bit behind schedule today, so Shakara's speaking here, but they are making lunch available for us. We're having sandwiches, 4 different kinds. There's turkey, ham, veggie, and pepperoni, which I've never had a pepperoni sandwich. I find that interesting. But anyhow, and salad and soup available, either soup or salad with the sandwiches, $5 a plate. So whenever that's available, which should be shortly, but we will go ahead and have Shakara's session here first. So anybody that's interested in lunch, though, can just pay the caterer at the time. So yes, that's all. Thank you.
Hi again. So I want to share, for those of you who don't know me or you maybe haven't heard this yet, I received this name from the star people that I work with, Shakara Tosha. So Shakara, they showed to me in Dreamtime, is the divine feminine light of Creator. And it came to me in Dreamtime, and they said, walk with this name, and the star people will recognize you in a different way. And I thought that was really funny, and then I was out in Giant Rock, this big rock that's a whale, actually, in California, and somebody had spray painted Shakara on this rock, on the back of the rock. And I went online, and I couldn't find anything about it. So I thought, this is interesting. So I started reading about the Shakti, the Shekinah, one thing after another. And it's this energy that this chief that I work with, Chief Golden Light Eagle, which maybe many of you know, I've worked with him very intensively the last 4 years. Please find him on YouTube. Amazing wisdom keeper and code carrier. So he works with the star people a lot. I'll talk about that later, but there's so much energy in here. I mean, we can just telepath this if you want to. Anyway, so this light being came to me, and what he said was, a year ago, this guide that he calls Wakan Pahamaniwi in Lakota, which basically roughly translates as the one who moves the way or clears the way, he said, came into the physical realm for the first time in history. And so she's working with many of us, especially the women, to reintegrate this divine masculine and feminine energy, and men. And Tosha means violet in Lakota. So the spirit name I received from Chief Golden Light Eagle is Wichakpe Tosha Washtewi, which means beautiful violet star woman. And he said to the people after he gave me this name that I work with the star people, and then he said, she is Arcturian. Arcturian, for those of you that don't know, is one of the star systems, and I looked at him like that was very interesting. But he said, I'm a star person embodied in a physical form. So a lot of us have guides that come in and out. Sometimes they shapeshift into us. Sometimes we're walk-ins. Sometimes they're counselors, our higher self. So this is what he said to me, that I work with the star people. And Tosha is the violet ray. So he said I also work with the violet ray, like some other people that you may have heard of. And so I never know what I'm going to say right before I start talking. So these guides are behind me now. There's a Sasquatch guide that I call Kite, or he calls himself Kite. And there are many, and there's also this Shakara, Shekinah energy behind me. And there's an Arcturian here, and there's a white buffalo calf woman who I also work with. So she came to me in sweat lodges and Dreamtime, and I don't talk about this too often, but she showed me a bundle and asked me to walk with it. And very quickly, I don't want to go into my story. You can actually go to my website, shakaratosha.com. I just want to mention quickly, I'm doing a workshop tonight, if you're interested. especially more messages about the Sasquatch that I work with that I'll tell you about in a minute. And I'm also offering light language sessions by donation, half an hour. So you can find me, or in the other building, there's a little table, there's a sign up. So I would love to meet with you in person, but if for any reason we can't do that, we could do it online. It's the same energy. And there's a lot of energy here. So one of the things they want me to explain, I'm going to speak light language. I speak star language, and I speak many of them. So again, I won't get into too much in my history, but I've been an artist all my life, and I've been drawing symbols and glyphs. Actually, I'll show you these as I'm talking. This is called the Twin Caves. This is where I got all my downloads as a child. It's in my hometown in Illinois, and at 7 years old, I realized that I could rent a canoe for 50 cents and go down this yellow creek that runs into the Mississippi. And I would park my canoe there and go inside these caves and sit for hours. And I found arrowheads, and all these guides and masters and beings started coming to me. So I remember real early, I would hold my hands like this and just meditate, and they would all come and give me these signs and symbols. So as an artist, even as a kid, I started drawing them. I draw these glyphs, I drew books and books and books of galactic script that I didn't understand. But at one point when I was 3, I remember I was in diapers, maybe even 4. I was a really late bloomer with that. And I was walked out to my yard, and I lay in the grass. And I put my hands like this, and I remember seeing a light beam go back and forth between my hands, around my body, through the earth. And then I looked up at the clouds, and I imagined my hand going behind the clouds, and I started writing symbols to myself through the clouds, and the clouds were changing. So I was actually doing this with my hand, and the clouds were changing. And at one point, this big beam of light stood behind me that I call the Ancient One. One of the Ancient Ones, one of these masters. And I felt like it was feminine, and I'm feeling this connection that it was this Wakan Pahamaniwi. And they said, in your 30s and 40s, your life is going to be extremely difficult. But in your 40s and 50s, you'll understand your mission, who you are, what you're doing, and everything will be integrated. We'll give you the whole blueprint. Now go play. And I said, wow. You know, and I stood up, and I was still in this other form. I was very conscious of who I was as a child. Of course, nobody knew that, because I didn't talk till I was 21, so now I can't shut up. So these star beings just push this energy out. So I remember standing up and looking around and going, okay, what does a 3 or 4-year-old do? And I watched children, and I moved my body this way. But I knew I was here in this world, but not of it. So I had those kind of experiences that I'll talk more about later. But what happened is, all through my teenagers and 20 years old, I started drawing these glyphs that I'll show you in a second. Here, this is actually me at 3 in my teepee. That's also where I got my messages. So my aunt went to Albuquerque. I lived in the Midwest, and she brought this teepee back. And I would sit in the teepee and talk to the elementals and remember my Indian ancestry as a Lakota, and working with the Hathors and going through the temples, and one thing after another after another. I was just this little kid, smiley little kid, just playing around. But my mother, because she was an artist, she didn't negate any of this, so she didn't shut it down. And I started doing all these things, and all these guides came to me. I saw them in physical form. They'd come in my body, they'd move around, they'd shapeshift, all the animals. I mean, a whole string of them. They were waiting out the door to talk to me. And little by little, as I got older, these things started integrating. And the reason I'm telling you this story is not about me. I want to show you what's happened to me. So I know that each of you are having your own activations, your own spiritual relationships with these guides, and you know, it can be very overwhelming. It can be very overwhelming when you feel this energy. I even felt it last night. We did another ceremony up there, and all these star people came. There was a mothership over us. 4 of us heard clicking and talking, and so we were telepathing with them, and we went to another dimension. My whole head of this head. I forget words. I can't talk English. I'll just talk in light language in a minute. Started burning, pressure in my ears. You know, a lot of times when the star people come around, the energy is so intense and so dense in this 3D that my ears were vibrating. And I can take a lot of this energy, but this was magnanimous. And this is all of our energy, all our guides, all our people. Hundreds of starships were over us. They were flying back and forth. And we went to another dimension, like a really, really big one, a deep one. And we were floating and flying, and we all just woke up at the same time. It's about an hour, half an hour, right? And then we just looked at each other, and we started moving, and it was like we were moving in slow motion. I said, what's going on? I couldn't focus, I couldn't think, everything looked different. The world was glittering, and we started walking down the path, and my friend was taking photographs, and there were orbs. It was so plastered with orbs, it was white. Boom, 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 all of them, and then you zoom in, and they're all different colors, and all these beings, and you can see faces. So that was fascinating, to just kind of get a verification of what happened. And as we walked down, it looked like I felt like I was on another planet. So I feel like we were planet jumping. The sky looked different, the moon looked different, everything. So we all just shifted to another dimension. And what's happening for each of us is as we're coming here, our tribes are coming back together. So Kelly and Kiwani, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for having these gatherings, because it's awakening people's memory of who they are. As you mentioned, and Sue Walker mentioned, they're looking for ambassadors. Each of these guides from all these different tribes are hand-picking people, which is you. So you got the golden ticket to come here. And they're, yay! So we're here to do this work that we remembered, but we kind of forgot for a long, hundreds of thousands of millions of years. And they're telling me that they're helping us with our memory. They're opening up our pineal gland. All this stuff is happening that we don't see. So you're looking at me, I'm looking at you. Oh, it's another day. We look the same in the mirror. The world is still there. Chairs are still there. Our problems are maybe still there. We deal with 3D. But they're showing me that we have to learn how to architect our body. So this is a vessel that we have to learn how to drive. We are starships, each one of us. And then when we get together, we're another starship, and then we're on this property, and that's another starship. It goes that way. And each of us have soul codes, seeds, like a golden seed, that connect with each other. That's why when you see each other, even if you've never met before, you just, I know you. What lifetime? About 4,000 years ago, you were building the temple. What'd you do? What happened between us, So we're bringing in these memories, but this awakening and this ascension is happening right now, regardless of what we're doing, except 99% of the people that are out there didn't get the memo. They have no idea this is happening. So they're starting to have meltdowns, depression, psychosis, physical problems, anger. It's all coming up because what they're showing me is this, we're in a cleansing process. We're bridging a gap between one universe to another. And basically, there's so much to say, but they want me to explain for the people that haven't heard me say this, is that you're fine. That's it. Bye, thank you. I came to say, sup. Just checking in, But you're in exactly where you need to be. You've chosen to come back here. You've chosen to come in with a consciousness. You've chosen to do your work. But it's not work anymore. So that whole matrix, which I don't get into, the darker energies, you know what it is. There's a program in place that's ended. It's actually ended. It's a contract. It's like real estate that's just done. Their rent is up, and they're being kicked off the planet and being pulled up from the underworlds and stuff, and this stuff is swirling around, and they're pissed. But that's okay, because we carry such a high vibration now, so it's important for you to get grounded and remember who you are. Remember the work you're doing. This is why all these star people are coming to you. And the thing is, we're all hybrids, in physical form, in spiritual form, in all these dimensions. We got Sasquatch, dragon, elementals, fairy people, dog people, everybody, all these realms, the earth realms, the ascended master realms, and the galactic realms are all working together. But they're not just going to poof right now. They do all the time for us, but for most people, they can't handle it. What they're doing is they're descending into people's bodies. They need a physical form to do the work here in physicality. And we're here on earth because of the law of balance. So we resonate with this. We've come here before, we've done a lot of damage to the earth. As they say, the Sasquatch told me they have too, and they're here to heal the planet. But it's not just an earthly planet. The planet is a being who's evolving, who chose to come down in this dimension to help all of us because she loves us so much. There's a heartfelt connection. She's the mother. And we're helping her ascend. So the faster you just get centered and ground your emotions, it's very important. So they give me lots of tools to teach about how to do this. So one of the most important things that we come here to master is emotion. Do not get swayed by anything around you. Get so centered, it's very Zen, get so centered that nothing can take you off course. You need to learn and remember who you are. And when you do this, you can be completely in the world, but not of it. You can see things going on. There's going to be a lot of meltdowns. You see what's going on with the elementals. Water, earth, fire, ether, all this stuff is brewing up because we're going to another place. So when you're centered, you're not affected by any of this. You can see it, but realize this Arcturian law of free will is in existence that I've learned, and everybody follows this, which is you don't have power over other people, and they don't have power over you or beings. So no being can hurt you. I don't know if you know that, but there are a lot of dark energies that are messing around. There are a couple here, but they're coming to learn. And when you raise your vibration, they don't even see you. So please let go of that fear, because that's an old paradigm we don't need anymore. Don't worry about the future, because if you're tuned in, the creator spirit, creator energy, all your guides, you got 100 people, you got a consultant team right here. Everybody does. You're not alone. Okay, we come to these gatherings to refuel our souls. We're exchanging codes. That's also a star language. That's what we heard last night. It's just energy. It's light, sound, and vibration. That's who we are. We're just dots of light. So shine it. It is safe. And the more you do it, this is the tipping point. We're going to start moving this consciousness forward. The difference is, what they tell me is, this is the first time in the history of existence of any universal system, because each of these star systems have already gone through what we've gone through. It's the first time that we're ascending in our bodies. So what I call Emmanuel, some people call Jesus, what Emmanuel did during ascension was he translated over, they give me funny words, he translated over to the somewhat physical, non-physical side, and then reincarnated his body, and so he could be up and down at any point. This is what the ascended masters do. They're here in physical form, and then they have been here, they've died and passed to another realm, but they've mastered moving their body in and out of these portals of consciousness. This may surprise some of you, but you already know how to do this. You know everything. You are seated from the stars. Your spinal column has 47 plus vertebrae. Each of those vertebrae carries a consciousness of the beings, like Garrett mentioned, that have seated us. We have Arcturian, Orion, Cygnus, Triangulum, Cassiopeia, Cyclops. Do you know your pineal gland was implanted as an organ in your body from the Cyclopean people? That's why it's one eye. That's your third eye. It's your eye of consciousness. And all of your body parts, all of your organs are seated and grown and calibrated for you to be this beautiful, magnificent vehicle. But we're not told that. We come in and we're taught and we're trained. Parents, teachers, schools, dummy down, dummy down, dummy down. You hear the music going into a store. It changed your brain frequency. They're spraying in the sky. There are some people that think that this is a beautiful thing to help humanity and reflect the sun. The problem is they're dropping metals that are going into our body and into our system. If you're not in fear about that, you can transmute it in a second. You can eat cyanide and it doesn't bother you. Learn your architecture. It's like you've been given a car and somebody throw you the keys. You've never been in a car. You got to figure out how to drive it. So they tell me that this is the first time in the history of the universe that we are doing this with no blueprint. The star people are going, okay, gave you all the tools and the keys to the kingdom and the tools of the universe and all the codes and all the systems and everything. Have fun. we'll be back later to see the project that you made. So, I'm going to go over to this other slideshow. So, I just want to mention a little bit about the light language and the star people. So these are scripts that I've drawn more recently. These are galactic codes, activation codes, and Lee Kerr, who works with Mary Rodwell, that she talked about, started, receiving messages from all these people that she worked with. They got activated, or I call it galactivated. And this and the next one I think is that was a Sasquatch language. So what happened to me very quickly, all these guides started coming. Then I saw this symbol, found this chief, this Lakota chief, and we started working together. I started doing sweat lodges on the quarter moon, which is very important. To get out of this matrix, start tuning in with the moon cycle. It's not just the women, it's not on your moon, it's not that. This is the natural way that we have to tune back into. So they're showing me, and they're showing many of us now, that when we tune in with nature, this is why we're here. When we do this, we're recalibrating the natural code seeds that are in us. What's happening is this negative, I call them the power overs people, are trying to separate our soul and consciousness from our body. That's what the spraying is, that's what the GMO is, all this stuff. They're just coding and coding calcium in our pineal glands, and it's a mess. It's a mess, but you can transmute it quickly if you need to. So we are the masters that have come back from the future to the past to the now. We've done it all, and there was something we didn't get right. So we came back to fix that one little widget, that screw when you put in IKEA furniture. It's like that one thing you forgot that's holding everything together that you're supposed to put together at the first step. Yeah. So this is kind of what they show me. So anyway, these are some of the scripts. I'll just channel through them really quickly. But this started happening to me all my life. And then I saw a grandmother talk on stage light language. And I said, oh, that's cool. I know that, but I don't know that, but I know that, but I feel it. But, And I got activated. And later, I said to her, I want to talk star language. And she said, you already do. You just have to remember how to do it. A couple months later, I said, I want to say something. She's okay. So I offered tobacco, which I have in my hand, for all the spirits and the energies. They also say, I jump around a lot, but I speak on a lot of multidimensional levels. You may think I speak fast, but it's a lot of information that's coming to you. You don't have to remember it. Don't hear me with your mind. Just feel it. So this is part of awakening your higher senses of perception. We have them all. We just forgot. They got blocked, but you're walking with them. You can feel people behind you. You can psychically see. We're all telepathing with each other. I'm just sitting here going, mama, 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 mama. This isn't the real deal. The other stuff that you're getting back and forth, So when I talk about a light language activation, you guys don't need activating. You're already activated. You have to activate yourself. So what these codes do when I speak them is awaken your consciousness. So I said this thing to this grandmother, and I started speaking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different languages. And this woman said, that's Arcturian, that's Orion, that's this. She was naming the planetary systems. And I said, okay, what am I supposed to do with it? And this chief said, you're going to write a book about creation. I said, I'm dyslexic, I don't write. I just like pictures, And he said, okay, it'll happen. So I got all these messages. All of a sudden, all these star people started coming in my dream time. I'm going to show you something else while I'm doing this. And this is, okay, I'm watching my time. So there's so much to get out. Okay, so anyway, they started downloading these messages. I now, in 4 years, every morning, 222-333-444, which is an Arcturian time code for you guys that are Arcturian, they came and they gave me messages. I'd type half awake in my phone. And anyway, so this is what happened to me, but now I have like 20 or 30 books worth of material. They've shown me the whole blueprint. How to download it, how to teach people, what it is, all these pieces. So I'm telling you that even when I say a tone or a word, this is how light language works. I am totally conscious of doing this. It's like I step aside and this guide comes in, but we're all walking with this, okay? So everything is light, sound, and vibration. These lights, the chair, people, energy. So I just transferred a packet of information to you. What you do with it is up to you, if you receive it or not, if you want it or not, if you do something with it. But it's what I say is the collective energy in this room. So I just wanted to kind of mention that. This is my art, and these are some of the drawings that I do. I don't want to get into that, but I really want to just quickly share 2 or 3 short messages from these Sasquatch. So, the audio isn't working? Yeah. Okay. So, these are some of the thousands of images that I get guided to and download. This is a tree in my neighborhood. Anyway. So, I'm just going to speak a little bit, and just feel what you feel. Feel these words, okay? Shunta mua kakala wakine wa shinte tato sama. Nisiko la kaite wa shinte tato sime ko la kaite. Nu shiki mai la wakai no shante tato sime ko la kine. Inshan takala mua shakine wa sante. Nu seki mai nimena la wakai la do shante tato sime. Ishitu mo saki kilo wakai toa shanta tatua sime ko. Isimo mo kakai ni shuku chi tiruwala kai toa shine. Nu saki ni no wala kai toa mo kakawa kine washande duo seki na no washande. Our world is evolving now. And this is the time we've come back. We've been many, many people in many, many star systems in many places on many planets. And all of us have many guides. We walk with 7 guides that are aspect of our higher self, so you're never alone. They just want me to say whatever they're telling me right now. They said, go off book. Don't even look at this stuff. I'm making books, so this will come out in a book later. They said, remember who you are. Restring all these codes inside of yourself. They said, you're golden. You have a golden seed of consciousness in your higher heart. Tap into that whenever you feel fear or pain. Fear is a construct of your mind. Learn to move your mind from your head to your heart and live from your heart. Unka mo tati ninu wa shanta mo sakini wa shanu la kaite se goda ka no teste mo kiki tuwas se mo kiki ni sine ko tai do la mo. That was one of my Sasquatch guides. And they say you can connect with any element in nature. That's what's going to keep us alive. We're going through very difficult times now, as you all know. You must let these things fall away because these are old systems that no longer serve us. These are old paradigms that aren't needed anymore. They're not needed anymore. They say, go out on the land, go barefoot, earth the land, because Mother Nature, Mother Gaia, will give you information. Be barefoot and absorb it. Imagine this blue ether that is physical. It's an etheric energy coming up in your feet, coming up through your chakras, and going up to the sun, the central sun, the galactic sun, all the way. You're a pillar of light. Run this energy from the sun through your body, through the earth, and back again. That's how you get your strength. It's like a meditation. Doesn't matter what you do, but clean yourself, clear yourself, and get ready, because you're going to be called upon to balance this energy. They say go out and hold a rock, and you can talk to a rock because you were a rock, and you need to remember being a rock. That rock is like a crystal skull. It holds all the information of that land. touch a tree, because the Sasquatch tell me when they walk by, they imprint all their learning. They're here to experience these things. They put it in the trees, and when you touch a tree, you download it. So all of you can upload and download information in your consciousness, in your hands, in your body. You can pull it in as you need and give it to others. Just radiate it. Whatever your skill is, whatever your mission is, whatever your life is, it doesn't matter where you are. You're not your bank account. You're not your social security number. You're not the clothes you wear. You're not really even in the body that you're in. You're just here temporarily in this form to do the work that you know how to do. They say this energy that's happening in the world that's very negative is being transmuted. And we are the ones that are doing it. The star people are aiding us. This is like the big show. They're all looking down at us going, wow, this is fascinating, but we really got the golden ticket. We really, really did. They all want to be physical. They don't know what it's like to be physical. The Sasquatch are the one tribe, they tell me they're star people that can shapeshift back and forth in physical form. And they tell me that we carry the almost identical genetic code from them. They're our big brothers. They're related to the ancient ones, and they're part of that tribe. And they just have a little bit more of a star seed and a little bit more experience doing this. And they say that they're coming now and manifesting in and out of dimensions so that they can start working with us and they feel safe with us. One of the things they want me to tell you is that their brain is one hemisphere, which a lot of people already probably know. So they have a unified mind. They don't think in duality. They think in oneness. So all they're doing is modeling for us how we need to be. You can shapeshift into these portal dimensions, but you got to get really grounded in your body, because your body is the vehicle that's going to allow you to move through this space and time continuum. They say that we're creating this blueprint by our thoughts and our emotions and our actions. Your thoughts are extremely, extremely powerful. This manifestation that's happening this time, what happened during the Mayan shift and last year, we're now up to the 13th dimension. We all vibrate at a higher existence. But most people don't know it. That's why we're still in 3D having this experience. We need to help them get up there. The way you do that is you do anything that's joyous. If you like cooking, do it. If you like dancing, if you like loving your partner, if you like making friends, if you like going out and being in the middle of nowhere with no one and talking to your sauce people, do it. Do it. That's how you get connected back to yourself. You know, it is truly like that avatar tree. We're all the trees. In Lakota, they call it Shnupa, two trees, where we are a tree. Those are our brothers and sisters. They are the most ancient, wise people. They're people. In Lakota, we say, Mitakwie oyasi. We. Yeah, okay. Check. That means all my relations. Stone people, rock people, crystal people, they're all in us. In each one of your organs, you have a higher seed crystal in each one. It's like a master computer that organizes that, you know. But they say the timelines have shifted. So you're going to start to feel what they call these ascension symptoms. You're going to be completely buzzed and can't go to sleep, and then all of a sudden want to sleep for 4 days and don't want to talk to anybody. The food you loved, you have no taste for. And you're craving like some weird food that you can only get in another country or something. You're going to get tired. You're going to get fatigued. You know what Sue and a lot of other people were saying is when these star people come in our auric field, this 3D is so dense that they can't function. That's why the Arcturians that are like 7 to 12 feet get really tiny, these little people. Like you see that movie Sirius, those are Arcturians in physical form. They're little people. And, but they're actually big people in another dimension. These trees look like they've been standing there for 300, 400 years. It's like 5 minutes to them. They're in a different timeline. So what's happening in our lives is we're all experiencing a different timeline, or time is ceasing to exist. It's actually what's happening. So you're going to start to feel breakdowns of time. A lot of this has to do with the atomic fission and fusion they're doing at certain places. It's ripping holes in the fabric of our universe, but it is not bad. It's what has to happen to open up these portals of consciousness. So many people are worried about the beings and the earth, and they're going to come up, and there's a war. And yes, there's a war inside of us. This is a war of consciousness. We're in World War III of the mental consciousness. Just get yourself out of it. Take another train. Literally, you can shift your consciousness. We don't need years of therapy. Just get out of it and do something else. If something doesn't serve you, say thank you very much. Apologize to yourself for not knowing any better, and thank you for this learning experience. Thank you to the person that showed me this thing. And then change it, because you change your reality, you create your reality. And these are what's happening. These blueprints are being created by us. You're creating your body system. These, by the way, were at Chief's house. These are starships. I dreamed that the Galactic Federation was driving by, and I looked out the window, and sure enough, for 10 minutes, 1 ship, 2 ships, 3 ships. They're triangular, they were upside down, they were linear. I saw lights coming down for hours. I mean, they're fascinating. So the whole point is that the cloud people, they all work with each other. The elementals, the Arcturians, the Sasquatch, they just have specialties, just like us. There's a range of difference here. We need the difference to come together. That's why each one of us is carrying a seed code that activates another. We are the 144,000. We are these people. So awaken to yourself and have fun with it. They said the heavy lifting is done. This idea of work, I gotta work, and then maybe I can get this thing, and then maybe I'll get a house, and then oh my God, but that van I really want, but it's so hard, forget that. Forget it. Because that's not how this new system works. It's a blueprint where you can imagine something, and because time is warped, you can manifest. We're getting to the point in the next couple of years, I think, or maybe even tomorrow, we could wake up as blue avatars, we could shift timelines, and we'll be in a timeline and all the negative people just won't be here. Boop. I mean, look at us now. Look at this room. It's a small group. It's a solid group. We are representing thousands of people, each one of us, our ancestors, our friends, our nations. Doesn't matter how many people do it. It's the right people. It's the right people. You're going to take this out. I promise you, you have been so highly activated, coded, and downloaded from each other, from your higher guides. They're all here. I get shivers. I can see them all with my psychic vision. There's ancient ones and big ones and little people, and they're so happy to be together. When people are dancing and playing, these children, when they were playing, they were giggling. They were so happy. The Sasquatch were so happy because they're playing again. So the time for work is done. So whenever you feel fear or scared or don't know what to do, look at a child. These children are coming in completely coded. They know who they are, they know what they're doing, they're agitated. They want to get on with their business of what they got to do. And it's all changing. Don't worry about vaccines. Don't worry about the educational system. We're going to transmute all of this. It doesn't matter. Don't lock into that system. Just leave it. And what's happening is we are creating a blueprint for the earth. The earth is saying, okay, now what do you want to do? Build it. We're builders. You know, Barbara Marciniak talks about way showers and systems busters. That's us, baby. We came here to define a new system. None of us fit in because we fit in the new system. We're weird. We're different. I never fit in. Woo! You know? We're all different. And when you master yourself, I mean, these are people too, all of these beings. Master yourself, spread love, be joyous, but you're going to get impulses of where you need to go, what you need to do. So talk to your guides. You will leave this place, even those of us who are really working with high vibrational energy, with a consciousness. You're going to leave this place and you're going to go, Thoom. Oh my God, what just happened? It's magical, and now all this crap is happening. I don't know how to, these people, what, or, you've already shifted to another dimension. Hold this love that you feel in your heart. Each one of you has a Sasquatch guide around you, and probably about 5 or 10. There's lots over here. Many, 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 many. They're so wonderful. They're loving beings, and that's what this conference is about, is the heart. Bring back the heart. Just live in your heart, and there's a certain way to do that. There's techniques and tools, but you know how to do it. Just remember, when you're scared out there, say fear is in the mind. When you have a worry, you don't know what to do, just be present with it, but don't feel it, and just let it go. It's part of this release. We're clearing and cleansing. You're going to feel pain. You're going to feel icky. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We need to take this energy that we're getting in this conference out there. We know what we're doing. Even if you think you don't know, I'm going to tell you, your higher self, I signed a contract with them to tell you this. We're all working together. They signed a contract with me. You know what to do. Walk with integrity and dignity and elegance in your life. Find the things that make you happy, that make you joyous, and do it. When you radiate that beam of light, which is safe now to do, they've given me the okay, open up. Open up. Just do it. It's very easy. We're shedding the veils of our consciousness right at this moment. Shed your skin. I was at Serpent Mound and I did a solar eclipse ceremony there with this chief and many others. They said, you don't need to be activated. You're all activated. We went there to remember. It was like a mystery school. There was iridium and all this galactic metal there that we just need this connection with. It's like we need to recharge. So many messages about these mounds. The Sasquatch worked with all these mounds. They were actually some of the early founders of these mounds. It's like I feel like I'm sitting in a room with like people that speak 50 different languages, and I gotta speak them all to you. So one of these will resonate with you, okay? I'm just gonna cycle through them. So they want me to they want me to tone. I'm actually kind of shy. But this toning carries a different vibration, so they just want me to tone this. This is the, God, there's like 15 guides behind me, and they're like, speak this, speak this, speak this. They're all gonna blend in this tone, okay? So if you want to close your eyes, just feel it. So open your psychic awareness and start to hear the sounds as colors. There's a thing called synesthesia, which we all have because we're all hybrids. You can mix and match all your senses. You can hear sounds and taste shapes and see colors, see vibrations, and feel it in your body. So feel the essence of whatever comes out as an energy source. Shundimiki Anisu Nai Nui Nini Kula Kaini Washinteya Nusiki Sa Nimukuli Kutasami Nushikiti Shunnamakai no Shinti Sulakai Nusiki Musiki Niwa makasu metira kanu shinga kulaka Ainu yamakasi Nusimi kulakatai Unshi kulamanasu. So the Arcturians and the Hathors work a lot with sound codes. Play around with sound and start singing and toning to yourself. And you'll be really surprised. Whether you speak light language or not, it doesn't matter. Whether you see star people or Sasquatch, it doesn't matter. Feel them in different forms. When you walk down the street and you see the leaves moving in the trees, know that that is the Sasquatch calling you. It's a calling song. So everything is alive and everything is talking to you. So let me share one other message. I can talk about, in the workshop that I'm doing, I'll share the names of these guides that I work with if anybody's interested. But there are certain messages about Sasquatch I just want to talk about. They say very quickly that they came here to work. They came here to bring these galactic energies to the Earth and balance them out. So they work with the ley lines. So sometimes when you see the glyphs on the ground, the sticks that are like this, they're writing energy symbols, like I write these scripts. But they're activating those nodal points of the Earth that needs help. They're healing the Earth, just like the crop circles. They're all related. Glyphs are happening on one side, crop circles are happening on the other side of the Earth. They're doing this. It's acupuncture for the ley lines. They say there's this blue etheric energy that's coming out of the Earth. We're all part of this, what they call the Blue Light Tribe or the Blue Star Council. For some reason, they tell me that we are this next generation of galactic, elemental. It's the blend. It's the rainbow tribe. So we're coming here to do something different. So we are building anew all of these systems, our body systems, the world, and different kinds of energy. And they tell me really not to worry about all these things that are happening to us. Just keep cleansing and cleaning and don't worry that way. If you can, this is what I got from this 1111 Symbols book that I talked with Chief about. The Sasquatch, especially for men, they say get back in touch with your elemental nature. Spend a day in the water. Spend a day in a cave or the ground. Spend a day in the air, out in the desert or out in an open field. Air, sky, water, what did I miss? Fire. You know, purify yourself with heat, energy, and the sun. Okay? The big secret is you can actually look at the sun. You know, you don't need all the coding and all this It awakens the codons in your eyes. So some of these animal tribes that I work with show me that your photons in your eyes and the codons in the back of your eyes are changing color. So you're going to start. Just be ready. It's really going to be fun if you know that it's happening. It's like getting on a roller coaster. You can freak out or you can just go along for the ride or you can like really get into it. So that's your choice. But isn't it already? You know, you can be happy, you can be sad, all that stuff. But they tell me that you're going to start to see colors that you've never seen before. How many have already had that experience? Okay. You're going to start to feel people's energy before you walk in a room to the point where you can feel somebody 5 blocks down the street because you're going to tune in that way. So this is how the Sasquatch, the whales, all these, they work with sound, all these animals, all these beings. They're animals are beings, people. They work in a frequency that's out of our audible level, but you can train your ear to hear that. Like some people can hear a high dog sound. It's like, I can't even go that low. Right now, they're talking bing, bing, bing. I can tune my ear to hear that sound. So somebody may hear nothing, and somebody is like, oh, they're really screaming at me, you know? Work with these ways that you have in your system, these senses. You're going to start to Like, I can look outside now and everything is glittering gold. Everything. Because these particles of the photons of the sun are starting to lighten. This is what happens when you go through a dimensional shift. It lightens up. You'll look at the ground and you'll see something different. If you look at the sun, the energy of the sun, if you look at it on your hands, on the ground, on objects, it's a different sun. We've shifted a timeline. And then we've shifted again. All of you who did any solar eclipse awareness or activity, didn't you feel shift afterwards? I was like, whoa, okay, here we are. Not sure where. Okay, look around and figure it out. Four of us got activated yesterday. We went in another dimension. It's a constant raising of awareness. And all they want me to say is that we're going to a place that is so incredibly beautiful. Because we're going to make it that way. You know, it's like having a big party. You can have a little cake, you can have music and festivities and presents and disco dancing and, you know, luau's and whatever. So it's our choice, you know, and you can do it very quietly. I know there are a lot of people in here that are like quiet shapeshifters. You can't even see them, but they watch everything and they move and they go out and they just talk to the trees and the elementals. That's your job. Do it to the best of your ability. There are people that just, this is my job in this lifetime. That's it. That's it. That's it. Some people like me are like flailers. I gotta go and do and be and da-da-da-da. That's just how I work. So respect another person in their way. You know, they might really annoy you. Then ask yourself, why do they annoy you? Why? You're being annoyed by choice. They're just doing them. They may be loud, brash, ego, frustrated, depressed, going through horrible calamities. Wish them love. Let them be, because it's their life. The only thing you can change is yourself. But when you raise your vibration and you stand next to somebody that's suffering, this is what Buddha did. You just stand and be present and acknowledge them. Give them back their own power to be radiant. That's all you got to do. You have depressed family members, people going through illness. Just be present with them. You know, there's no healing that needs to be done. This is part of the experience of life that they have to go through. You know, you have hyper kids, you have quiet people, you have, you know, people that are dealing with body issues and very traumatic. So many people, so many clients that I'm talking to in these sessions, 80% of them now have had ET, serious stuff. A lot of it's very dark, and very dark stuff that's going on. They ask me, why am I going through this? Why was I traumatized? You know, I'm not even go through the list. You know what's going on. And they say, the message I get is, you need to learn that because probably in a last lifetime you did that to someone else. Now you need to be on the other side and figure out what it feels like. It's all just an experience for your growth. The harder your life is, the more you're gonna grow. The faster you wanna grow is your choice. I'm getting hit with everything, because they're telling me. I'm like, why aren't things moving? Why aren't, you know, they say because you have to release and let go. When you don't will something to happen, you're just in tune. The whole universe lines up. And I want to mention something about money. Okay, money is a fabricated system, but money is made from trees, right? So even though you may have a judgment about money, let that go. That's how people have used it in this system up until now. They're trees, it's natural. If it's digital, it's numbers, it's number systems, it's codes. But money is abundant. So I learned when you need some cash flow, just think about abundance, think about energy. Things will be moving through. You know, you need something, you need help, you need a friend. Just ask the universe. Look, you got a whole consultant team, you know, that you don't even have to pay. They're doing it for free because they love you. Hey, so, you know that thing I'm trying to do? I know I have to do the work, but could you just give me a little hint? Put somebody in line in my realm of vision that can kind of make a connection or help me or whatever. You know, we're all alpha people. Even if you're quiet, we're used to doing it ourselves because we've had to. We've had to carry this burden. Okay, women, let go of the burden, of the heaviness of carrying the divine feminine. These men, look at all these men that are present here are magnanimously amazing people. Amazing people because they're in their heart. They're strong, they're powerful, they're masculine. They carry that, but they're gentle. They've found their heart. Okay? Yeah? Beautiful men. Thank you. Because you are modeling what it's like to be a true human in a male form. It's really beautiful to see, and the love between some of these couples is just, I'm moved to tears because you just see them just loving each other. But that's how I feel about each one of you. Some people I know all of you really well, actually. But we're meeting each other again, and it's just really a beautiful thing. So I want to mention again, I'm happy to talk to anybody if you want. I'm available for these light, it's not really an activation, it's a remembering, you know. But if you have something you're working on or something you want some help with from myself, from my guides, I also do these energy frequency signature drawings, but right now I think it's better just to have an exchange. If you want, you can also find me online and just email me that you've been at this conference, and I'll offer you this discount by donation. I just want to connect with all of you because we're helping each other. And I also want to mention, I did get a partial book done. I feel like I'm like the one that took the no-dose all night and crammed and then didn't quite get the last thing in, you know. But this is one of the books I put together. It's an ebook. For $10 I'm selling this if you want, but these are some of the various star messages that came to me. So find me and we can do a energy transfer. And for these sessions, I'm around today in and out if you want to do that. Also, you can just go to these are some of the videos. This, I got to tell you. Look, this is a Sasquatch bowl that I found at a reservation outside of Tucson. I walked in to this place, and this bull was screaming at me. I walked over, and it's got Sasquatch all over it. So this is a good thing to kind of end with, or begin with. There is no end, see? Just do something else. All these nature people want you to go out and talk to them. So when we have a break, go out. Just be with them even for 2 minutes and do it. Try to get out of square boxes and be in the feminine, be in the circular energy again. So I'll say one more thing in light language. Okay, good. Thank you. Good timing, man. Thank you. Shunta kai no shan no wala kin no shinte. Usakai no shinde de wasine kola kai to shine de wasama o kekiro kai to wasine. Nusukuma mo kai to shine mo saki kikiro kai. Nusi mo saki na saki no wala kai. No sakai no shante de wasine. Usakai ni to seke. No shine me no wala kai no koa kai no shante de wasine. Shu mo kakai ne shine no shankan tai ne kula sumati to the wala kai shuki to the mo kakai no shan suma ko to the wasine no san nese kokora kai to shan se mo kakalo kin shuma ta to the san to sine kokala shimo mo kakora kai to shan Nu siki kula kai toa shan so kikino shukimi mo kakola kai toa shan no saka kola kai toa shan mo saka koka kola shi tue la kai toa sine suma mo kikine nu shakai nu shanka kakola kine shan te tose unta akba untida mushiki inta Antara, Itira, Kite, Situ, Moasha, Kinua Shankanta de Vasa, Nira was Shakara, Mosaka, Nua Shine, Shuma, Shiki, Shan, Sikula Kaito, Shine Wasana, Uti Kula Kaino Shinte. Thank you. I love you. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Shakara. Okay, so we are ready for lunch. It's all ready in here. Anybody that's interested, $5 a plate. We got 4 different kinds of sandwiches and soup and salad available also. So where's my schedule?